It's a good answer. You can't argue with it, really. Yeah. Always a big. Were you a huge Beatle fan? A huge fan?
I was, yeah, enormous. Yeah. Learn everything. As I said before in the previous question, learned the bass part, the rhythm parts, the harmonies, the lead parts of practically everything they ever did up to a certain point. When I got too busy.
Nick Bell is in Leeds in Yorkshire. If you could go back in time, which song or guitar solo would you like to have written or played?
There's so many, it's very hard to answer. I think for me, about the perfect pop song is Waterloo Sunset by the Kinks, and I'd love to have it. Absolutely. Guitar-wise, maybe Albatross by Fleetwood Mac. Say what?
Oh, he's bad.
Well, it's got that in the catalogue already.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
A question I noticed watching that, or a question that occurred to me, how come you don't snap an awful lot of strings?
Change them regularly, or get someone to change them for me, some nice gentleman change them every night. Yeah, they just don't seem to. They must be made of better metal than they used to be in the early days.
The next question, again, I think we can see the gentleman who's asked this question. Brian Maher is in Kilcullen, County Kildare. No. Yes, Brian May says, how did you get that characteristic guitar sound? Brian Maher, I believe it is, of Kilcullen in County Kildare in Ireland. And, well, let's hear Brian's question.
What do you think changed between 1987 and 2006 that made Echoes work once again as part of your live set list? Did it just fit better with the on-and-on groove, or was it deeper than that?
Definitely not Brian May, I had the haircut. But what Brian asked was, what do you think changed from 87 to 2006 that made Echoes work once again as part of the live set? Did it just fit better with the on-and-island groove, or was it deeper than that?
Well, when we went out in 1987, and we did rehearse it and perform it a few times, but for me, it didn't quite work, and I never quite got to why it didn't work. But as I say, this band now that I have, that have done this tour with me, we did it in rehearsal, and it just slotted straight into place. Some of the young kids who were on that H7 tour have grown up a little bit. A little bit, I emphasise. They nailed it straight away.
It must be slightly daunting. I suppose this may be a question for the band, but you must think this. It must be slightly daunting when someone comes along to play something like Echoes, which is such an iconic piece of music that every note of it is embedded in the people who love it, memories and psyche. Lots of them here. They must think, blimey, I'm going to have to play Echoes. It must be a daunting experience for them. Do you have any pity for them whatsoever?
I have to.
Another question from Scotland. Thurso in Cape Nest, Scotland, is where Ian Pearson is from. Ian's question.
What other types of art forms, such as painting, sculpture or theatre, do you find inspirational, such that it influences your creativity?
Well, I think you've probably heard that, but what other types of art forms, such as painting, sculpture or theatre, do you find inspirational, such that it might influence your creativity?
It's very hard to say what directly influences you. I would have to say that it's none of those ones that he mentioned that you could pin down. There are books that I would think have been a more direct influence. Covers of a couple of which are in the DVD packaging, ones that are directly, slightly, or maybe a bit more, related to some of the songs on the album.
But generally, that's not the way you work. They don't come from that kind of background.
I think most inspiration is subconscious, and it just sort of picks itself up, clicks into your brain, and stores itself away quietly, and falls out again sometime later.
Adrian Kavanagh